Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna be remaking the Protractor video just because there was a lot of questions I got and you guys kind of still seem confused about it. And I think where I fucked up doing that was I explained it more than I demonstrated it, right? So this time I'm gonna demonstrate how to plot a course using multiple waypoints. So for this scenario, we're gonna be starting at farm, and we're going to need to find or make our way to Wolf Hill. We're going to be taking a southwesternly direction through Simon's Woods, through Bonfire Hill, and then almost straight west to Wolf Hill. The reason we're going to do that instead of just cutting straight across is because in this scenario we're going to consider Provence, Figari, and this wood line just north here of Morton Valley to be enemy territory. So let's say we're leading a small, team to knock out this radio station at Old Wood on top of Wolf Hill. Now, obviously, we don't want to be caught doing that, so we're going to avoid most of the contact by traveling south-southwest, staying in tree line cover the majority of the time through Simon's Wood, Bonfire Hill, and then across here to Wolf Hill. Alright. So, first thing we need to do, or first thing I'm going to show you guys is, again, how do we find our grid, right? So, if you look at the map, you'll notice that it has these lines running horizontally and vertically all across the map. So those are our grids. So these are 100 meters by 100 meters. If you zoom out, these are 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. So for this though, we want to find our 100 meters grid of our exact location. So we already know we're at farm, but where exactly at farm are we at? So if we look at our terrain, just have a look around real quick. You can see there are 3 structures here at farm, or 3 primary structures. We have this long barn, a smaller barn, and a house. So we're right in front of this long barn, which obviously is going to be this thing. Common sense would dictate that. So, what is the grid for where we are standing? We're standing roughly right here. Right? So, these horizontal lines are called eastings, the ones that run west to east. The vertical lines are called northings. Now, the reason these horizontal lines are called eastings is because the further you go east, the larger the number gets. As you can see, starting with 063, 064, 065, 066, the number increases going east, so these are called eastings. Now, same thing going north, the number will increase going north, 058, 059, 060, 061, etc., etc. So these are called northings. So, the first line that intersects this box will be the reference number for that grid. And we always want to read our eastings and first, and then second our northings. So for this grid would be 066, because that's the first line that touches this box that we're located in. So it'll be 066 break. First line touches the box, 058. So our grid for where we are on farm is as follows: 066 break 058. But again, let's say we needed to find, so that would be our 6-digit grid. So let's say we needed to find our 8-digit grid. Well, we can do that also using a protractor. It's super simple. So what we want to do is take this part of the protractor, so this right here, this thing is kind of like a ruler with a 90 degree that goes basically vertically and horizontally. And we want to take the 0, 0 and place it right at the bottom right corner on 0, 0 of the grid that we're in. So now that we've done that, we have these numbers So we have easting numbers and we have northern numbers that we can basically add to our grid. So for this grid here, we know that we're standing again right in front of this barn here. So we can count out these numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that we're 8 little ticks to the left, right? So how does that apply to getting our 8-digit grid? Well, this just gives us additional numbers that we can add to our easting. So now instead of saying just 0, 6, 6, we can say 0, 6, 6, 8, and then break. And we can do that same thing for our northern line. So again, we're standing in front of the barn. Instead of counting these numbers, you can really just track it over to here, and you can see, so it's going to be 8. So 8, 8. So our 8-digit grid for basically almost our exact location on the map is going to be 0, 6, 6, 8, break, 0, 5, 8, 8. So 8 numbers, 8-digit grid. So simple as that. So how do we plot a waypoint to our location? So what we're going to do is, knowing that we're basically standing right here in front of the barn, we're going to start with a line using this pen or pencil or whatever. We're going to plop that down. I'm going to plop that down right at our exact location. Now that we have our 8-digit grid, we basically know our exact location. And we want to plot a waypoint to Simon's Woods. So, somewhere in Simon's Woods, we want this line to intersect through. Now, there's a couple places we could do it here that would make sense. So we could do it like here. You want to do it somewhere where there's like a feature that once you reach this location, you could definitively say, okay, this is where I am on the map. Now we could use this dirt road here where it like tees off, because obviously, you know, hey, here's a dirt road that tees with a T going back north. So we could, once we reach that, we would physically be able to see it, and we would know that that was our location. I think we're going to use these structures just because that makes more sense to me. And it's just like, that's just more of an obvious thing. So starting here, we're going to drop our line, and we want to intersect. We're just going to use this structure here, I think. We're going to intersect this through this long structure here, and we're going to drop that line somewhere down here. So now we have, sorry, got a text message. All right. So we're going to drop our protractor again, and we're going to place the center of the protractor right at our starting point. So we want this circle to be like right in the center of where we're at on the map. And you see that'll give us this line that runs through these numbers that run along the edge of the protractor. And we want the inside number here, not the outside. So you can see that runs roughly in between 1 or 210 and 211. It's closer to 211, so 211 would be our compass bearing. So to basically from farm to reach this structure in Simon's Woods, we would want to follow a compass bearing 211. So if you're not familiar with what compass bearings are, so basically a compass will have basically numbers that run all the way around the outside of the compass. Additionally, you'll have your cardinal directions, so northeast, southwest, etc. You'll also have these numbers, and kind of think of it like the clock, right? But it's a 360-degree circle. So basically what these numbers correlate to is basically kind of like little tiny sections of pie. Like if you were to cut up a circle, and you had 1 degree of like slices in that 360-degree circle, each one of those little slices would be 1 degree. So going all the way around the compass, starting at 0, or some people start with 0, some people say 365, it doesn't really matter. But you obviously going east, you would start with 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So roughly 211 would be southwest. As you can see down here, starting at direct south, we have 180, and then southwestish, you got 200, and then 220. So in between, basically that big line in between 200 and 220 would be, well, obviously 210. So we would just go a little bit to the right of 210. And I'll show you that real quick. So you can see right there we have, so there's our 200, there's our 220, and if we come back here, you can see that 210, go a little bit right, and there you go. See that next little dash, that little dash, there we go. So that's 211. So that compass bearing right there will lead to those structures from where I am standing. So if I go in that exact direction that I'm facing, I will basically hit Simon's Woods. Not only will I hit Simon's Woods, I will hit that structure inside of Simon's Woods. Now, we could just plot one line and just say, you know what, I'm just going to follow that compass bearing, and I'll hit there, and then I'll plot another line to my next waypoint. And you could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that just to save time, I just like to plot it all out, especially if it's going to be such a short movement like that. So what I like to do is once I have that line, so basically this structure would be our first waypoint, if you think of it like that. So once I hit that structure, I can decide, okay, I'm going to stand at this corner of that structure when I take off on my next bearing. So from here, I can drop another line. And in Arma, you can have up to 3 of these lines on the map. So basically, you can do up to 2, 3, more or less. And from Simon's Woods, we're going to move to Bonfire Hill. So again, we just do the same thing at Bonfire Hill. We just need to find something that intersects through Bonfire Hill that we know once we hit it, we hit it. And I think we're just going to use this dirt road that has a foot trail running through. Because, if we find a dirt road with a foot trail running, east to west, then we can definitively say once we've reached that location, okay, this is where we are. So same thing as before, basically. And then from there, I will drop another line to the hill. So we'll say, okay, I'm going to start right on this footpath, right where that footpath begins on the dirt road. Once the dirt road becomes a footpath again, and plot to this antenna on Wolf Hill. And there you go. So see, now we have starting point, waypoint 1, waypoint 2, and our destination. And even if you wanted to, you could, again, just take the protractor real quick, and we already know that we're going to be starting out on a bearing of 211. And just to save us time, so we don't have to break the map back out again later, you could take this, drop it down real quick, and you could get all your compass bearings right at the start. So you could just write them down, which why don't we just go ahead and do that, right? Makes sense. So now we're going to be starting on a compass bearing of 211. So we'll write that down. And then once we've reached Simon's Woods, we're going to follow this line, and that's going to put us on a compass bearing of 242. So write that down, 242. And then once we've reached that foot trail, we're going to follow this line. So we'll bring our protractor back over here, drop that down, and we're going to follow our compass bearing. If we follow that line of 257 or 256. We'll call it 257. 257. Alright, so now we have all the compass bearings we need to reach our target. So at this point, we really don't even need to break our map out again. So we just need our compass. So again, we make sure that we're lined up here. So get on 211, close the compass, and start moving. Get the old rifle out because there are baddies about. Got bad boys doing bad boy things. So as long as we don't deviate from this compass heading of 211, we should reach that structure at Simon's Woods. Now, every 30 seconds to a minute, I would probably break the compass out and just double check, make sure that you're still on that, correct bearing 211. You can see we already got off a little bit. And if you get off a little, as long as you catch it early, it's not going to matter too much. But if you start walking, and you walk for like 15, 20 minutes, and you don't look at the compass, and you're off, even if you're only off like 3 or 4 degrees, you might end up missing that thing by, a mile, just depending on how far you're going. So you want to just have a little cheeky peek at the compass every now and again, and just make sure that you're still on that bearing of 211. So once I have the structure in sight, we know that's our waypoint. So I don't really need to look at the compass anymore. I just walk straight to that structure. So we've reached our first waypoint, which is the 3 structures inside of Simon's Woods. And we can double check that just by kind of looking at the map and looking at the terrain. Okay, so we got 3 structures surrounded by trees. Come over here to Alright, so we're at Simon's Woods, and like I said, we're going to go over here, and that's going to be the westmost corner of this structure, and that's where we're going to start on 242. So, westmost corner, be this corner right here, and we're going to find 242. So, see, we got 240, that line right there, and 242. And that's our next heading. So we just need to follow that until we intersect that dirt road that becomes a foot trail.
I wanna be in the cavalry if I must go off to war. I want a horse and a volunteer force that's riding forth at dawn. Please say for me some gallantry that will echo when I'm gone. And I beg of you, sirs, let me lead the charge when the battle lines have drawn. And let me at least leave a good hoofbeat that remember loud and long. I'm not a good foot soldier, make I'd be sour and slow at march. And I'd be sick on a navy ship, and the sea would leave me parched. But I'll be first in line if you let me ride. By God, you'll see my starch.
Alright, I believe this is our dirt trail that intersects. According to the map, we should have a foot trail and heritage trail. Alright, so we've now reached our second waypoint. Now we can start following our next heading of 257. And that'll end, basically, that's the last frame partner. That's going to be the last heading we need to follow to reach the target. So, close the map, pull out the compass, we'll turn her to 257. Where the heart lead screams and the cold, cold steel, let me be your cavalryman. Here we go. 260, 255, and 257. So, that's the heading we need to be following to reach full kill. Let them play their flutes and stir up my boots and place them back to front. For I won't be back on a riderless black, and I'm finished in my hunt. I wanna be in the cavalry, they send me off to war. So, we'll do that. Also, I think we can actually see. Maybe. Oh yeah, so you can see that gap is literally the radio tower. So now that we can see the radio tower, instead of using that gap, we'll just follow towards the radio tower.
Slipping through the cracks of your cold embrace, so please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. I hold down a little pieces of what we were. I know we're long gone, but take it easy because it hurts. Don't cut me down, throw me out, leave me here to waste. I once was a girl with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of your cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna
Alrighty.
go, then I'll be so
So,
lonely.
that right there is an example of how to use waypoints, the Arma Protractor, and compass bearings to land nav and Arma Reforger. So I hope that clears up any questions you guys had. If you guys still have any questions or anything, feel free to drop a comment. I'm sure you've seen our Discord link in the video drop a few times. Feel free to join our Discord, guys. We are JF Joint Task Force 2. You can find us on Arma Reforger. Xbox and PC guys are welcome. We play usually 1 to 2 times a month. We play main ops, and then we also are running a campaign right now, which we do almost every weekend or every other weekend. And then we got guys on throughout the week. So anytime, guys, if you want, stop in, say hey to me, say hey to the boys. We're a very friendly group. We're just a group of guys, like-minded guys who like to play Milsim. If not, that's fine. Hopefully this helps you guys land nav or not get lost on Eberron. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I grew up on a prison farm. Sneaking pulls shine from a mason jar.